Good evening, everyone. Welcome to In Harmony with Ershad. I hope everyone is doing great. So we are having another lovely Sunday in London. And everyone, whoever is watching it from any part of the world, welcome to the show. And as you know, every Sunday at 6 o'clock UK time or in London, we come on live on ARTV network with my program In Harmony with Ershad. And on this show, what we have been trying to do for from the very beginning, that would like to connect people together through music, through culture, through arts. So people, whoever is watching from any part of the world, whether you're in Australia, whether in Europe, you are in America, you are in the UK, everyone can watch the show and join in, and you can join in through live phone in as well. And the number would be showing on screen very soon. So you can join in with us, and welcome to In Harmony with Ershad. I hope everyone is doing great. And first of all, welcome to In Harmony with Ershad. And I would like to say Happy Father's Day to every father whoever is out there, including my own father and the guests who are on the show, everyone's father, and people who are at the moment, probably we know we are going through a very hard time, COVID-19, as you know. And during that time, probably many of our elders, our fathers, they had been infected, and many of them we have lost. My condolences at the same time. It's a very hard time. It's a sad time for every one of us. And I'd like to send my condolences to all the families and all the sons and daughters who've lost their fathers during this crisis, and all the fathers who have come back from the battle. I'd like to congratulate, and I hope you look after them and take care of your father and be with them so you can celebrate many more Father's Day together. So today's show, we have some very special guests. We have some very special um, you'll see many special music at the same time, because we have some amazing musicians, and at the same time we'll be discussing about some other aspects of our life. It's not all about music, it's not all about arts, but arts and culture and music, it connects us together, and that's what's going to happen today. So people, whoever is joining in from any part of the world, I would love to thank you for joining in. And as you can see on screen, I have two of my special guests from different parts of the world. Well, one of them, first of all, in no particular order, as you can see on the top screen, we have Aniba Dhattacharya from India. He's an
Hello.
amazing singer. At the same time, Aniban, welcome to the show.
Thank
And
you,
it's,
Ershad.
it's, it's, it's great to have you here. And I'd like to give a brief introduction in terms of as far as Anirban is concerned. He's an Indian classical vocalist of the Patiala Gharana and a social anthropologist from Kolkata, a senior disciple of Padma Shri, Pandit Ajay Chakrabarti. And Anirban he aims to break the boundaries between different performance of traditions and create a unique space for himself. A president of India gold and silver medalist from All India Radio in Khayal and Tumri, and champion in Tumri from State Music Academy in 2010. And he is a scholar. I mean, he received a scholarship in Rabindra Sangit. This is one of your main fit, I would say, and that's your main talent and one of your main initial skills. So, Animan, welcome to the show. And I would like to go back to our second guest. I would like to welcome, a heartiest welcome to Amin Raja, all the way from London. Well, when I say all the way, we are all here. I mean, we're in the same city. So it's my great privilege and honor as well to invite Amin Raja. As you can see on the background, he has Relax Radio. So he's the guy. Yeah, exactly. So relax Bangla, relax music, and you can listen to it at the same time. Relax Radio is almost like relax TV, so you can watch it. And I had been there as well, and I'm always part of that radio, always will be. And we have Amin Bhai here, who had started this radio a decade ago, I guess. And once we start talking about the whole radio thing, we'll find out more about its history and the mission, and also what new projects he has in the pipeline. So, with no further ado, let's get into the show, and like to invite people, whoever is watching in Harmony with Esha at the moment, you'll have on screen the number very soon, and you can call us live on the show. But probably we'll start taking the call after half an hour once we have introduced the guest and we have heard from them. And we have a special guest I haven't mentioned yet, and he'll be joining with us very soon, Anwar Sadi, one of the senior news editors from News 24 in Bangladesh. So you have seen him last time, and he will be joining us again. And we'll be discussing about COVID-19. What he does normally, he does his own analysis on different aspects of the crisis. I mean, how we are getting affected, not only physically, there are mental issues involved, and there are social issues involved, there are economical issues involved. So we'll be discussing about that. At the same time, if you have any questions, any clarifications that you'd like to have from Anwar Sadi, you are very welcome to do so. So first of all, let's go to Amin Bhai.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam, Amin Raja, Amin Bhai, I mean, as we call him, as you know, and people who are watching from different culture as well. Amin Bhai, Bhai means brother. So, yeah. So we are brothers. We have been in media working together for a long time.
Yeah, it's good to see you back again, and it looks really good that you have a lot of things behind you. And I try to keep it simple as possible so that it is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it looks sometimes it's like organized mess, as I would call it.
I try to keep it in a way so that it looks like it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep it tidy. I just try to give people the simple way of understanding it and seeing it so that they don't get stressed. So,
and in contrast, I'd like to make it look, it's really hard.
Making it look hard. I'm trying to make it look easy.
Yeah. So let's see. And either way, it works because we all know, say, for example, when you started this radio, you know how hard it is, first of all. I mean, you're making it look very easy and it's very easy to achieve. It's very achievable. That's fine. But the work in the background that you had to put in, the hard work you had to put in, the effort, it's really something that only you can talk about. So I'd like to, if you'd like to share with us the history of the radio or how you thought about it and what was the mission behind it, what was the thought process?
Reason that I started radio, of course, inspired by one of the biggest radio broadcasting company here is, or rather the channel is called LBC, and they talk about things, right? So that people can have a conversation about what is happening with their life other than just, of course, when you talk to people, you got to have a bit of entertainment. So, of course, in Relax Radio, we keep both of that. Their one is hardcore speech only, but our one also has other bits and bobs. So we do put a little bit of spice now and then. And as you know, you are always been there, and you're always going to be here, inshallah.
Definitely.
So now I started that. The reason for that was that though we Bengalis came back from Bangladesh long time ago to immigrated to UK, but they're holding on to that old Bangladesh. When you go back to Bangladesh, you will see Bangladesh has gone so far ahead. They're digital. And whereas we Bengalis are stuck to that 60 years back, so they're not changing. And they're still talking about the radio, how it used to be a long time back when it used to be Betar or Shadin Bangla Betar and all that kind of stuff. Whereas it's all things like listen to this song, then please now listen to that song, and all that's going on.
You're just linking different songs. And the main thing, what you mentioned, I just like to, I mean, it's about the integration we always talk about. When you come to a different country, different culture, we have to own that and be part of it, which you are trying to indicate. But most of the time we see people from, not only in Bangladesh, I would say people from different countries, when they come, they try to create another version of another micro version of that same country in England or any culture they go to.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And so, which means you easily separate yourself from everyone else. So whereas the Relax Radio came to create a bridge between all the communities around the world so that people can see the Bengalis differently rather than just that they are isolated into one corner. And for that reason, I started that around 18 years back.
Wow.
And started as a, what do you call it, community radio station where I used to take an hour and then moved on and eventually became one of the largest Bangladeshi radio at that time. But then again, it was not good enough because with the community radio, you have too many red tapes, you can't do much. And then I thought like to get, I just don't want to get into just one community who are not trying to change. I would like to get connected to the rest of the world. So I just took a break. I said, you know what, I am not ready yet. So I'll have to come back later when the time comes. So it's like a Surah Kaf.
And why did you feel that you were not ready at the time?
Because the technology was very weak.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It
was
came
weak,
back.
and internet was very weak,
Yeah,
and mobile phones. Then when Steve Jobs came up with iPhone, that made a huge difference.
definitely.
I tried to come back again, and
Mm,
then I see no, it's still not time yet because the internet is not strong enough, and not
okay.
everybody has internet.
Yeah.
And whereas people still used to carry transistor radio,
Yeah.
and which is they only talk about AM and FM. Still, they talk about that AM
Hmm.
and FM, but they're forgetting that that's gone. I mean, it's still there. Of course, you can use it if you want to because they
Yeah.
have limitations. They have radius. You have to keep on buying license for every radius.
Yeah.
But whereas with the internet, with the mobile phones and the apps, we are the first Bangladeshi radio in the world which came with the mobile apps to use it on Android and iOS.
Yeah.
So
Makes it accessible for people around the world.
absolutely, so that everybody can get in touch.
Yeah.
And now alhamdulillah, things are working well. And with this facility, of course, with the StreamYard, we're doing even better because now we're connected to people around the world, and we have broadcasters. I don't call them RJs at the moment because, of course, when it comes to because we have three channels. We have
Yeah.
Relax Radio Bangla. Originally, I started with Bangla. Then I thought it wasn't because we didn't have enough people, so we had to mix it up with the Relax Radio Bangla and Relax Radio English. Then I saw people getting confused because when to listen.
Yeah.
Then decided to divide that. At the same time, people are complaining about music because with Bengalis, when they see me, because they know I do a bit of singing, I'm not
Yeah.
that much of a singer, but when I
You have a
sing,
great voice, by the way. Okay.
thank you, thank you. So they basically want you to sing all the time. So I said, look, this is not it. So for
Mm.
music, we will have another channel. So and right now we have three channels, which is Relax Radio English, Relax Radio Bangla, and Relax Radio Music. So that everyone is
they
happy.
they come on different times, so they're all different channels. So when it's Relax English is 24/7 English,
Yes.
and Bengali is the same way, and music is 24/7 music. Wow.
Yes, and the music is 24/7
Was it like
music.
this when I was there as well? When I was doing my
No,
show?
since when you left, then I've improved more. I mean, not because that you left
Because I
and
left. I'm
I
joking.
realized that we all because you used to do English program,
Yeah.
and being Bengali doing English program because you're trying to create a bridge because you are in UK and your connections with a lot of friends over here who speak
Yeah.
English. And if you just
Exactly.
speak Bangla, it's not good enough. And
Exactly.
people were getting very confused. So I thought, this is time that we need to actually separate this and make it work in the right way. So alhamdulillah, it's working. It's been just over a year with the Bangla channel as well and music channel. So I got when I did the Bangla, then I decided to do the music at the same time so that that music channel plays world music. So
Great. I mean,
we,
thanks a lot for a bit of the history. I'm sure people who are listening at the moment and watching us at the same time, they'll be happy to know about how radio channel grew from ground up and how much hard work you had to put in. So it was 18 years of hard work and on and off, on and off. And you had to think about a lot of different things. It's not that overnight you just come in front of your computer and with some mics and it's just there. So the hard work. So we'll be talking more in depth about the hard works, the obstacles that you have faced. And also, as I was talking about, and your voice is a God-given, lovely voice.
thank you
And
very
definitely our audience can testament to that one once they listen to it. So I would like to go back to Anirban at the moment. And let's have a chat with Anirban. We have Anirban from India. And as I was saying, he's an amazing singer. And I had the great fortune of performing along with my band when he was doing his postgrad, his master's in SOAS. You were studying musicology, ethnomusicology, right?
Ethnomusicology, yeah.
Okay.
Ershad, right. So our relationship goes back 10 years. It's a decade
Yeah.
already. I
Great
arrived in
celebration.
London in September of 2010,
And it's 20
and we
now.
met.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 20 now, exactly. 10 years from then, and I went there with a lot of hope that that was my first trip abroad,
Mm.
and I landed in London with a scholarship to study ethnomusicology in SOAS. So that was kind of a dream coming true. And then I started performing everywhere and with you in so many places, all the television channels, radio concerts. So we did a lot. And my experience in London was fantastic in the way that it opened up a new horizon. It opened up a
Exactly.
new horizon of music for me because I'm a student of classical music, And when you learn classical music, you
Yeah.
are so much into your tradition, and your exchange with your guru and your friend circle is so intense
Yeah.
that you normally don't tend to go outside that boundary
Yeah.
and have fear, have that freedom, enjoy that freedom of listening, appreciating different kinds of
No,
other
even
kinds of
say
music.
for example, when you perform with my band Surreal, and at the time I had written a song which was keeping you in mind because it was in English. Then you were doing it was in Raga Hansadhani. So
Answer them, yeah.
you were singing that classical part, and we then blended it together. We sang together as well. So I'll be playing the
Yeah.
video very shortly today on this show. So we have the video ready, and for we're talking about 10 years back, and it was a TV show when we were performing together. Both of us looked a little different, but yeah, they can hear the music
Yeah,
and the experiment we had.
absolutely.
And to be honest with you,
Yeah.
after that performance, you went back to India, but then afterwards, I started getting calls. They're like, okay, we want to see that same performance, and we were invited to perform in Lord Mayor's Ball in Canary Wharf. So it was a huge event with all the
Yeah.
parliamentarians and member of parliament. Everyone was there, and we had to perform. But unfortunately, you weren't there, so we made
Yeah.
alternative arrangement. But I couldn't replace you because the understanding I had with you on stage, that was really
Yeah.
amazing. So when they see the video, even the television one, even we have few live clips as well. We had done some other concerts, so people can
Yeah.
definitely tell that we had that understanding. I always missed it. I had done the
Yeah. I
same
missed
song
it
with
too.
other singers as well, but I definitely did. So Anirban,
I missed it too, Ershad.
no, no,
Yeah.
definitely, always. I mean, you're always in my heart. So Anirban, it's a great
Yeah.
privilege today that you are here, and yeah,
Yeah.
we have the music. I think for the guest, let's have a listen.
In my heart.
And it was great to watch that performance again, which we had done 10 years ago, and it brought back all different memories. And as Aniban was saying, he was talking about the different kinds of things he was trying. So this was part of it, and it's an interesting thing. I would like to bring Aniban so we can have a discussion about this, what we had done, because most of the time this was our first TV show together, Anirban with the band and with my band Surreal. So Anirban, the thing was that the fun part, we never, I mean, we knew what we are going to do, but we never really rehearsed like what we are going to or how we're going to perform on stage. It's not orchestrated beforehand. We just did impromptu straight away, improvisation straight
Yeah,
away.
yeah. It's very clear. It's evident from the video that we had only discussed the structure of the song, the way we are going to do the song, but we never rehearsed the lines, the number of improvisations that I was going to do. And I still remember that I had this header, like this counter in my mind that I would show one, two, three, four, and then we would move on to the antara of the song, the second
Yeah,
part of the song. And that was the only rehearsal as such that we had.
exactly.
We separately rehearsed ourselves back at our homes
Yeah,
this particular song, and you had made the chord of your part suitable because it was a different
yeah,
chord structure,
hmm,
not really going with Hansvardhani. So you
yeah,
change the key and you compose the song to
exactly.
come from that, and we rehearsed that transition, but we
Yeah.
never actually rehearsed the
But
song in
even
totality.
it's really nice to see. I was just watching it because we were just following each other's cue. Say sometimes I'm
Yeah,
singing something, you're catching up with it, and then I'm catching up with
yeah,
you. It was amazing.
yeah,
So Anirban, we
yeah.
had that performance that we have seen, and I would like to go back to a bit of a live singing now, since you're here, and people would like to
Yeah.
watch you do that. Definitely, you have amazing voice, and after 10 years, all the experience that makes what we are today. Say, for example, what I was 10 years back. Now I'm quite different. I would say I've learned from my mistakes, learned from the failures as well as we always do. So now I would like to mention that Tagore's song, that's one of your forte, I would say, and that's one of your main skills to start with, even though you're an Indian classical musician, a vocalist. So would you like to start with Tagore's song for the show?
Yeah. Ishada, so the common connect that we have is our language, the language, Bengali language.
Yeah,
And Rabindranath Tagore is, of course, all-time great poet and a great composer.
yeah.
So why not begin this session with one of his invocation songs, which is Jagote Ananda Jogge
Wow.
Amar Nimantran. So I'm inviting everyone into this show. So it's a Tagorean way of inviting everyone onto the show.
Yeah, thank you.
So just let's begin with this song,
Yeah,
and I hope everyone will like it.
definitely. Please take away.
জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ ধন্য হল ধন্য হলো মানব জীবন জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ ধন্য হলো মানব জীবন জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ নয়ন আমার রূপের পুরে সাধ মিটায় বেড়ায় ঘুরে নয়ন আমার রূপের পুরে সাধ মিটায় বেড়ায় ঘুরে শ্রবণ আমার গভীর সুরে হয়েছে মগন জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ ধন্য হলো মানব জীবন জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ তোমার যোগে দিয়েছো ভার বাজাই আমি বাঁশি গানে গানে গেতে বেড়াই প্রাণীর কান্না হাসি তোমার যোগে দিয়েছো ভার বাজাই আমি বাঁশি গানে গানে গেতে বেড়াই প্রাণীর কান্না হাসি এখন সময় হয়েছে কি সভায় গিয়ে তোমায় দেখি এখন সময় হয়েছে কি সভায় গিয়ে তোমায় দেখি জয়ধ্বনি শুনিয়ে যাব এ মোর নিবেদন আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ হলো মানব জীবন জগতে আনন্দ যোগে আমার নিমন্ত্রণ
I'm sure. Thank you, Anirban, and I'm sure it doesn't do justice to what Anirban is capable of. I mean, listening to him over online and the bandwidth issues and everything. Even though we are having a good connection, but still, it's not the same as listening to you live. So, Anirban, we have, especially, I'll talk about myself personally. I have listened to you in person, sitting in the same room. We have performed together and we have rehearsed together. And the things you are capable of in terms of Indian classical music, which people have already seen through that music, but definitely that's not, as we say, hardcore Indian classical music. It's more about just a fusion. But we would probably listen to you some other things as well, and some other pieces, other different kind of genres and pieces of music, and in other languages. And you had also worked with Padma Vibhushan Pandit Biju Maharaj.
Yes.
So that was one of the, I think, rare opportunities as well, because you might have learned a lot, because he's probably part of that old tradition where he's performing as a dancer and singing at the same time.
Yeah.
So how did it come about, and how did it happen, and what you used to do with him in terms of performances?
Yeah, it is still a present continuous tense. So it's been last 10 years again.
Wow.
So after I left London,
Mm.
I didn't actually leave London. I kept coming back, but
Hmm.
I settled down in Delhi, the capital
Okay.
city of India, and there I started working in an archive. So
Okay.
as you know, that an archive is a place where we preserve audiovisual data
Yeah.
of music, musicians, performances, texts, whatever.
Yeah.
So that brought me in very close contact with different folk traditions, different classical traditions, different artists, musicians, performers of more than hundred years together in one place. And I started working there as an archivist. So I
Okay.
had the technical tools and the knowledge to write about them and to categorize them. So
Mm.
what I learned in SOAS as an ethnomusicologist, so I started applying that in my archive.
Okay.
And this is exactly the time when I started this thing, and then I came in close contact with Birju Maharaji, and he was looking for a male voice who can sing Tumri, but the special kind of Tumri that he was wanting in me uh, was I was not really ready to do that at that time.
Okay.
But he was so confident that he said, "Oh, you can do this." And in actually a night, I had to prepare about 4 or 5 songs for to perform with him for the next day,
So,
and that's
was it
how
your
it all
own? I mean,
started.
was it the Tumris you already know, or you had to learn new Tumris as well?
I just had to learn everything fresh.
Wow.
So Maharaji, as being a genius, he doesn't like things which has been done so many times
Mm.
himself. So coming from a tradition who used to perform for Nawab Wajid Ali Shah in
Wow.
Lucknow, who introduced this whole concept of Urdu poetry and poetry in Braj and Avdhi and Khadi Boli in a special kind of poetry which they used to call Bandish Thumri. So that time, as you would know, that in the classical
He was
form,
a composer
Dhrupad
himself
was
as well, isn't it?
yeah
Wajid
he,
Ali
he
Shah.
was he was he was a
He was a great
multifaceted
connoisseur
genius
of Indian
himself.
classical music, and he spent a long
Yeah,
time. I think people should watch that movie as well. There's a very popular
yeah.
movie by Satyajit Ray,
Shatranj ki Khiladi.
Shatranj Ke Khiladi.
Yeah, yeah. So Wajid Ali Shah promoted that art form of Bandishi Tumri because it was a kind of a challenging response to the khayal, which was gaining popularity that time.
Yeah.
But khayal was mostly focused on the vocal jugglery, the acrobatics, the sargams, the tans.
Mm.
But the poetry was somehow it was
Missing.
not so much looked at.
Mm.
It was ignored a little bit.
Yeah.
So that was when exactly Bandish Thumri uh, became very popular, and all kinds of poets started writing Bandishi Tumri. And
Mm.
one of them, of course, was Nawab himself, and he patronized a lot of composers. And one of them was Bindadin Maharaj, who was
Okay.
the court dancer of Lucknow under his patronage, and also the grandfather of Pandit Birju Maharaji.
Wow.
So we keep hearing that he had composed more than 5,000 compositions, not all tumris, but bhajans, geets,
Pandit
ghazals.
Biju Maharaj,
Not Pandit Birju Maharaj. I'm
his
talking about his
grandfather.
grandfather,
Grandfather.
Bindadin Maharaj.
Okay.
And there is a very popular song you might also remember, used in the film Devdas, Kahe Chhed Chhed Mohe Garwa
Wow.
Lagaye. So
Wow.
that composition is by Bindadin Maharaj himself.
Wow. That's a good
It is,
influence.
it is an old composition. So Maharaj belongs to the tradition, and he also doesn't
And you
like
learned from him.
anything.
You've been so fortunate. I mean, I think many of the
Yeah,
performers, musicians should be envious about the fact that you get to spend that time
yeah,
with such a
yeah,
legend. And not
yeah.
everyone
Absolutely,
can.
absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
there
And
how
and
many
I,
singers?
I,
There
I
are how many amazing Indian classical singers are in India, but among all those people, you're the one who
yeah,
got the opportunity of performing with him on a
yeah.
regular
You can
basis,
say
which you're
that.
still doing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we are still doing, and I did a lot of work with Maharaj. It is not only about learning his compositions and just singing them, because
Yeah.
many a times it happens that he has certain of his favorites. Of
Yeah.
course, that keeps coming back, but in most of the other cases, the compositions he doesn't like. It's like a phase, like 1 or 2
Mm.
years, one couple of years he would do one composition, two, three compositions in a row, and suddenly a whole new set of compositions will arrive, and that will continue for next couple of years. So that
Wow.
happens. Number one. Number two is that we between you and me, you were saying that we used to share a different kind of chemistry on stage.
Yeah.
That we can communicate through our looks, through our even through gestures, and we
Yeah.
don't need to say anything.
Exactly.
So in case of Maharaji, what happens? I sing, and he emotes that with his mudras, with
Wow.
his gestures
So
and facial expressions.
on that note, I'll come back to you. Let's get back to
Yeah,
Amin Raja, and thanks for the
yeah,
information that you provided. People who are watching, definitely, you have come to know in terms of the tradition, Indian classical and Tumri, what's the background, and how fortunate Anirban had been in terms of being in that tradition and learning from the people who had been in there and who had a great lineage of performers in the family. And as we had heard, 5,000 Tumris or more than that, and who was a court dancer for Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. So, okay, we'd like to come back to Amin Bhai, Amin Raja in London, who are with us. Amin Bhai, I mean, definitely it's an interesting thing what we are listening and learning from each other. Yeah, please. Amin Bhai, yeah.
Yeah, I must say, both of you, the first song that I was watching was amazing, absolutely brilliant. And then after that, when the Robin Sangeet was absolutely brilliant as well. And amazing singers, right? You guys make me shake. Obviously, I don't know anything, and you guys are telling me.
But you have a God-given voice. I think I would like to, without any further ado, since you have mentioned about that, I think probably we should learn, I mean, hear something from you, and people should learn that what kind of an amazing singer you are yourself. So probably can we have something from you, a live performance?
Um, uh, uh, well, originally I was thinking of using a track, but then again, it becomes a problem. So I think because we didn't have much, I know we spent some time in the past, but I think I'm just going to do it with just the raw vocal. Would you say?
Okay. Okay.
Is that okay
Yeah.
with you?
Yeah. I mean, probably we
I'll,
can give it a try.
let me see. কি আশায় বাঁধি খেলা ঘর বেদনার বালু চরে কি আশায় বাঁধি খেলা ঘর বেদনার বালু চরে নিয়তি আমার ভাগুলো যে নিশিদিন খেলা করে বেদনার বালু চরে প্রতিদিন ওঠে নতুন সূর্য প্রতিদিনই আসে ভোর ওঠে না সূর্য আসে না সকাল জীবন আধারে জীবন আধারে পৃথিবী আমারে দিল যে ফিরায় সে যেন ডাকিয়া কয় নাহি হেথা ঠাই আমি তোর কেহ নয় ক্লান্ত চরণ আকুল আধারে পথ শুধু খুঁজে মরে বেদনা বালু চরে কি আশায় বাঁধি খেলা ঘর বেদনা বালু চরে
Thank you, Amin Bhai. I mean, definitely, when you have musicians and people can definitely sample, I mean, it's a sample of your voice or what you are capable of and what a great voice you have. So it's always great to hear.
Just getting a lot of feedback. That way, it was making it a little bit difficult, but it's okay.
We had quite a lot of requests already for you and for Aniban, but we have a live caller. Let's speak to the caller. Hello.
হ্যালো, আমরা ওই যে প্রোগ্রামটা দেখছি বাংলাদেশ থেকে। হ্যালো,
জি শুনছি আমরা।
আমরা ওই যে আমি জয়ের ফ্রেন্ড বাংলাদেশ থেকে আমরা প্রোগ্রামটা দেখছি, অনেক ভালো হচ্ছে প্রোগ্রামটা।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনার নামটা বলবেন সবার উদ্দেশ্যে, আর কোথেকে কল করছেন?
আমার নাম আমি সুপ্রিয়া, হবিগঞ্জ থেকে।
হবিগঞ্জ থেকে। সুপ্রিয়া, নাইস টকিং টু ইউ। কোনো রিকোয়েস্ট আছে বা আপনি আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানে স্পেশালি আর কিছু মানে নতুন কোন?
আমি যে অনির্বাণের কণ্ঠ থেকে একটা যে রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত শুনবো, যে দুজনে দেখা হলো, যদি সম্ভব হয়।
অনির্বাণ খুবই ভার্সেটাইল একজন সিঙ্গার। রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীত শুনলাম, এরপরে হয়তো নজরুল গীতি শুনবো, গজল, ঠুমরি।
তারপর আমরা আধুনিকও শুনবো।
নিশ্চয়ই। থ্যাংক ইউ আপনার কলের জন্য।
আর আপনার উপস্থাপনাটা মানে অনবদ্য, অনেক ভালো উপস্থাপক আপনি।
অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ, খুবই সুন্দর, চমৎকার।
আপনার প্রোগ্রাম আমি আরো দেখেছি, মানে আপনার উপস্থাপনাটা মানে অনবদ্য, এটা কোনো কথা হবে না।
ভেরি কাইন্ড অফ ইউ, ভেরি কাইন্ড অফ ইউ। আপনার সাথে আবারও কথা হবে। আমরা আরেকজন কলার আছে, তার কাছে চলে যাই। হ্যালো 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 কলার, আপনি আমাদের সাথে লাইনে আছেন লাইভ।
হ্যালো
হ্যালো,
জি, আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
আপনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি, আপনাকে সবাই শুনতে পাচ্ছে, আপনি লাইভ অনুষ্ঠানে। হ্যালো,
জি, আমি দুটি পাতা একটি কুড়ির শ্রীমঙ্গল থেকে আত্মজনের বাংলাদেশের আহ্বায়ক বলছিলাম, সিরাজুর রহমান দীপু। অনেক সুন্দর হচ্ছে এরশাদ ভাই আপনার প্রোগ্রামটা।
থ্যাংক ইউ,
অনেক ভালো লাগছে।
আপনাদের সাপোর্ট থাকলে আমরা আরো ভালো কিছু করতে পারবো। আর যেই অনুষ্ঠানের যে উদ্দেশ্যটা আসলে শুধুমাত্র গান করা বা এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট, ডেফিনেটলি আমাদের এই ক্রাইসিসের সময় এটা একটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট ব্যাপার। আমরা যেটা চাইছি সেটা হচ্ছে পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন জায়গা থেকে যারা আছি, শুধুমাত্র বাঙালিরা না, মিউজিশিয়ান, বিভিন্ন আর্টিস্ট যারা আছি, সবাই পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন মানুষকে একত্রিত করা। কারণ যেই জিনিসটা হারিয়ে ফেলেছিলাম, আমার মনে হয় যে কোভিড-19 মাধ্যমে এটা খারাপ দিক যেমন আছে, আমরা অনেককে হারিয়েছি, একটা ভালো দিক হচ্ছে যে আমরা সবাই কিন্তু আবার কানেক্টেড হচ্ছি এবং আমরা ফিল করছি যে আমাদের একসাথে থাকার প্রয়োজনীয়তা কত বেশি।
একদম একদম।
আপনার কলের জন্য অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। কোনো রিকোয়েস্ট যদি থাকে বা কোনো মতামত থাকে অনুষ্ঠানের ব্যাপারে, আপনি ইতিমধ্যে বলেছেন, তারপরও নিশ্চয়ই অলওয়েজ ওয়েলকাম। আপনার সাথে আবারও কথা হবে। থ্যাংক ইউ। ধন্যবাদ, ভালো থাকবেন। So we had the live callers. I'd like to get back to the show, and we have I was talking to Amin Bhai and was listening to his music, and definitely we have his new music video that had come out recently, and we'll have a listen to that, and we see that. So people, since Amin Bhai don't have his instrument at the moment today, so we couldn't have that. And I was thinking, since we are in the company of musicians, I'd love to perform a song. We had Bengali songs, and I know we'll have Hindi songs, which you do, and definitely Anirban's going to do some ghazals and tumris. So I probably at some point I'll perform myself some songs. But in the meantime, a good quick question to you. So we were talking about the history of Relax Radio, and you had given us some information. If you have to say one obstacle, definitely it's not one, it's many. But one of the obstacles that stick out for you, that you found that it's really always hard to come up with such initiative that you have come, what would you say? What's the main obstacle or one of the prime ones?
Well, obstacle, there's too many. Like you said, there are too many. Because when you're trying to do something good, there is always going to be a problem. But then again, this is why the Relax doesn't have an X. Relax spelled with a K. S. RELAKS. Because I know that there will be negativities will be coming at us. And then and I made my mind in 2000.
What sort of negativity when you say negativity?
That people will pull you down. Even your family members can actually pull you down because they will not support you.
Okay.
They will think that you are the crazy, because especially when you want to do something different from everybody else.
I'm the crazy one in my family as well, always.
I'm the crazy one in my family. And one and only.
Same here.
Not somebody else. Yeah, because everyone comes into the world and do the same thing. They study, then they get married, they have children, and they just go on about the normal life. But what do they leave behind?
With all due respect to people who are doing it, definitely if they're happy doing that, that's fine, fair enough for them. But there are some people like us whom we say that we are the crazy ones in the family, so we can't really be happy like that. Okay, I always used to think, that you have a job, you're coming home every day and watch some telly, and then you have your dinner with your family, and then you're going to bed next day, the same routine,
Same thing. And at the end of the day, right? You like to do good for people because, say for example, if you make your community better, then obviously you're going to have a better life. Exactly. Your family is going to have a better life. If you make awareness to the people not to do the wrong things, then automatically you benefit at the end of the day. So we do the right thing and we try to tell people this is wrong, this is black, this is white, this is white, this is black. Then people get to know that, because otherwise, if pen or pencils, for example, if nobody told us which one is a pen and which one is a pencil, we wouldn't have known.
And the beautiful thing about talk radio is that you're opening the avenue for people to have a debate. So we're not controlling like in other televisions or normally in the television format. We always try to control, okay, you can say that, it's expunged, okay, cut this color.
Lot of people have a lot of things to say, but their little voice cannot be heard anywhere because it just gets it goes under the lot of bricks and stones, right? The voice doesn't come out, and this is why Relax Radio came and said, the big radios, of course, they want some big things, but small radios like ourselves, at the moment, we are trying to say that, well, your little voice can be amplified.
Because even if you have music, even if you have different, but mainly, first and foremost, it's a talk radio, isn't it?
It is originally it is a talk radio, because I saw that, let's suppose, what happens when, if it is a music radio, then what happens, let's suppose you like one kind of music, another person likes another kind of music. You cannot keep everybody stuck together, because if you want to create an unity, you need to do something which matters to everyone. Because if, say, for example, somebody likes folk songs, somebody likes Adunik song, some modern songs, and some like classical. So when a classical song comes, a folk singer will think, oh, no, I'm not listening to this one. So he changes. Yeah. So when it comes to talk, everybody's got, a human in the world have very, very similar problems every day. Yeah. So that needs to be talked about. And that a lot of people have a lot of things in their heart they want to really expose, but they can't do it. The Relax Radio is here to amplify them. Amplify their voice so that everybody can
make it easy for them to express themselves, because sometimes people feel like, oh, shall I talk about it? Shall I bring my personal life out in public and discussing about my problems? But the thing is that when you bring that problem out and talking with other people might have similar experiences that they already probably had the solution as well.
Exactly. So, this is exactly what I say. If you've got something to teach or you want to learn something, then yes, you should listen to the radios, because most of the time because otherwise, let's suppose if you want to learn something from a lawyer about your immigration, but if you listen to the radio, most of your questions get answered for free.
Yeah. And another thing, I think it's very important that Air TV Network, Relax Radio, and at the same time, what we are trying to show here for people, whoever think that people always have to compete. No. In one community, when someone is doing something good, another person is doing something good, if you bring it together, you can be compounded and we'll just grow in strength.
Exactly. This is exactly the same thing. I was talking to somebody you probably know, and one of our brother, and he's joining us as well in Relax Radio. The thing is, I was saying that, everybody knows.
Sorry to interrupt. Can we take this call?
Yeah, sure. And I'll continue from then.
Yeah, please. Hello.
Hello, Bangladesh থেকে বলছি।
বাংলাদেশ থেকে কে বলছেন?
শিল্পী রানী দেব।
শিল্পী রানী দেব, নাইস টু হ্যাভ ইউ অন দ্য শো। আপনি গতবার কল করেছিলেন, চমৎকার কল। আজকে আপনার কেমন লাগছে অনুষ্ঠান?
আমি জয়দীপ রায়ের ফ্রেন্ড।
জয়দীপ রায়ের ফ্রেন্ড, আমাদের এয়ার টিভি নেটওয়ার্কের।
আপনাদের অনুষ্ঠান সুন্দর হচ্ছে। বলেন।
জি, নিশ্চয়ই বলুন, আপনি শুনছি আমরা।
আপনার অনুষ্ঠান অনেক সুন্দর হচ্ছে, আপনার অনবদ্য উপস্থাপনা।
থ্যাংক ইউ। ভেরি কাইন্ড অফ ইউ।
দুজনেরই সুন্দর অনুষ্ঠান, গানেরও সুন্দর। আমি অনির্বাণ ভট্টাচার্যের কণ্ঠে একটি গান শুনতে চাই, একটি অনুরোধ আছে আমার। ক্লান্তি আমার ক্ষমা করো প্রভু।
বাহ, আমরা রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতের অনেক অনুরোধ পাচ্ছি অনির্বাণের জন্য। ও ডেফিনেটলি রবীন্দ্রসঙ্গীতের চমৎকার একজন শিল্পী, কিন্তু ওর আরো চমৎকার কিছু গান ওর সংগ্রহে আছে এবং ও করে থাকে, নিজস্ব কম্পোজিশনও আছে, রিসার্চ আছে। তো আমরা শুনবো সেগুলো। তো শিল্পী রানী দেব, ভালো থাকবেন। থ্যাংক ইউ আপনার কলের জন্য। আবারও কথা হবে।
ঠিক আছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ। So let's quickly get back to Amin Bhai.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying, that so basically, due to having StreamYard and the Zoom and all that kind of facilities on the net nowadays, on the screen, which made everyone having their own TV channels. Exactly. Anybody, like if somebody's name is Tom, Dick and Harry TV. So everyone has this, but Alhamdulillah, relaxed radio is a relaxed radio because
we are Air TV network.
even if we are visible, we're still going to be radio because
Yeah.
we're going to be, even if it is a TV, we'll be relaxed radio
No,
TV.
even BBC does that too. All the radios, they have a channel where people can watch them, what they're doing. If you go to YouTube, you can watch LBC now, the radio you
Exactly.
mentioned.
You
So,
can. So now, what I was saying to the brother earlier on, that why we all opening one TV channel or one radio channel everywhere, trying to get to the public like a Modi Dukan, right? Everybody's opening one grocery shop in every corner, like a corner shop. I said, why not stop opening corner shops and get it all together, make it into
this
a
is
super.
something I want to understand the philosophy. But most of the time, you see there is one corner shop, and you see that there are 4 other corner shops having in the same place, so they can compete, and rather than having in another place.
They're dividing the customers.
Yeah.
Whereas open, instead of having little corner shops in one road, why didn't you just all get together and make a superstore? And when you make a superstore, then you get everything in there, and then you get everyone else coming in there.
That's a very good message, Amin Bhai. I'll hold that thought. We'll get back, and I know we can talk about it, and we should have probably a show, no music, just you and I talking about these aspects of this different, how we can strengthen ourselves in the community. This is very important. So we'd like to get back to Anwar Sadi in Bangladesh. We have the one of the senior editors from News 24. I would like to have some update in terms of COVID-19, what's happening in Bangladesh, and he has his own analysis. Let's see if we have Anwar Sadi online. So we'd like to bring Anwar Sadi. So the people who are watching In Harmony with Ershad at the moment, you are live online. You are calling me and calling us on the show. And the guest we have Amin Raja today, who has started this radio, Relax Radio, which is also, he doesn't want to call it a Relax TV, but yeah, you can watch it as well. And he has been doing, along with the other soldiers, they have picked up this battle that they'll do something for the community and make it easier for the people in the community to get in touch and do something great for everyone. So I'm just waiting for Anwar Sadi. If we have Anwar Sadi online, we can bring him online. So let's see. If we have Anwar Sadi from Bangladesh, one of the senior editors, news editors from News 24. And as you know, we are talking about Relax Radio. So Air TV is online with high quality technology at the moment. So they're trying their best, and at the same time we'll try to bring new shows and try to improve upon the things that people are already using. And I'm trying to hear from Anwar Sadi if we have them online. If not, then I'd like to go back to Anirban. So Anirban, yeah, nice to have you back. So, Aniban, we were talking about you are part of this. Sorry, I'm getting some echoes of my own voice, so that's really making it hard to talk. It's Sahapedia, do you call it?
Yeah, Sahapedia.
Yeah, so it's an online portal which it's a research portal and peer review research portal. What is it? If you could explain a little bit more.
So it's a cousin brother of Wikipedia in the field of arts and culture, I would say. So what Sahapedia does is they pick up scholars who are seriously working in their own fields of inquiry, the fields they are interested in, and then commission them for writing articles and collecting materials and putting it in the form of a module. Okay. So that's what I did. So the first module that I did for Sahapedia was for Shorunal Tagore from Calcutta, on whom I'm doing my PhD right now from Shivnathar University.
You're
so
almost towards the finishing end of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm on the last year of my PhD, so I'm basically writing my thesis down at the moment. I'm already done with my field work and archival work. So that this whole work actually started with the Sahapedia article and the module that we created. And then after I created this particular module, then we went on and made another module, which is on the Thumri, Bandish Thumri, that we were talking about before the break. So I did compile a lot of Bandishi Thumris. I interviewed the Thumri exponents, present in Delhi and other places in India, like Calcutta.
Okay.
Collected compositions, notated them, and made it into a small little publication, which is about 50-60 pages long.
Okay.
And then I continued that work, and I'm still collecting a lot of compositions and trying to notate them for the future generation.
Yeah.
Because, these compositions only survive as compositions which are sung in accompaniment to Kathak dance.
Okay. And
But
also, that's the tradition of Indian classical music, that it's not written music like stuff notation
yeah,
every, that you have all the records, you can have them in
yeah,
one place. So it's in
yeah,
different gharanas, they have their own traditions, they have their own compositions. So
yeah,
unless someone archived them and put them in one
yeah.
place, it's really, it'll be lost at some point.
Absolutely. And so but we all know that Pandit Vishwanath Bhatkhande started that enterprise in back in the early decades of 20th century, and
Okay.
he was one of the pioneers to write down the traditional stuff in notation for the future generation, and it still survives.
So, Anirban, I would like to probably interrupt you at this point, because
Yeah,
we always find whenever we have musicians like you or Amin Bhai online and joining the show, it's really hard to resist the temptation to listen to the music at the same time. The audience who we have here will be
yeah.
under tremendous pressure that people like to listen to some songs. So would you like to
Yeah.
sing something for us? What's the next thing that you'd like to present for? We had a lot of requests, I know, but still,
Yeah.
as an artist, definitely you have your own choices.
Yeah. So there have been a lot of requests of Tagore songs. I would rather say that as I had begun with Tagore song,
Hmm.
so I would like to pay my tribute to one of the other poet of Bengal, whom we all admire, and being a classical musician even more, um,
Definitely.
Kazi Nazrul Islam, and I would like to sing one of his compositions, and that also is more close to the stuff that I have learned through all these
Okay.
years. So it's a fantastic composition in Rag Hamid,
Okay. Wow.
and it's a I would shortly elaborate the rag and then do the composition.
Definitely.
It's
Please.
Ajo Kade Kanune Koilia.
Wow.
आजो कादे कानूने कोयलिया आजो कादे कानूने कोयलिया चंपा कुंजे आजो गुंजे भ्रमरा चंपा कुंजे आजो गुंजे भ्रमरा कुहरिছে পাপিয়া আজো কাঁদে কাননে কোয়েলিয়া আজো কাঁদে কাননে প্রেম কুসুম মোর শুকাইয়া গেল হায় প্রেম কুসুম মোর শুকাইয়া গেল হায় প্রাণ প্রদীপ মোর হেরো গো নিবে যায় প্রাণ প্রদীপ মোর হেরো গো নিবে যায় বিরোহী এসো ফিরে আ বিরোহী এসো ফিরিয়া আজো কারে কাননে কোয়েলিয়া আজো কারে কাননে তোমারো পথ চাই হে প্রিয় নিশিদিন তোমারো পথ চাই হে প্রিয় নিশিদিন মালার ফুল মোর ধুলায় হলো লীন মালার ফুল মোর ধুলায় হলো লীন জনম গেল ঝরিয়া আ জনম গেল ঝরিয়া আজো কারে কাননে কোয়েলিয়া চম্পা কুঞ্জে আজো গুঞ্জে ভ্রমরা কুহরিছে পাপি আজো কারে কাননে 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 কোয়েলিয়া
Amazing, Anirban. I'm sure now what's going to happen after your Tagore song, people have been requesting all the Tagore songs. Now we'll have new request of all the Nazrul Githis. Amazing as always, and you are such a soulful
Thank you so
singer.
much.
It's nice to hear. We have a caller from London. Let's see, or in England. Let's see who we have. Hello.
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, কে বলছেন?
আমি লন্ডন থেকে বলছি।
লন্ডন থেকে
আমার
বলছেন?
নাম শুভনা।
Okay.
আমার নাম।
Shubna, how are you? কি খবর?
হ্যাঁ, আমি ভালো আছি। আপনাদের প্রোগ্রামটা অনেক সুন্দর হচ্ছে।
Thank you, Shubna.
এখানে দুইজন গেস্ট, দুজনকে আমার অনেক পছন্দ।
Thank you. আমিন ভাই and অনির্বাণ ভট্টাচার্য।
আমিন রাজা ভাইয়ের কাছে আমার একটা রিকোয়েস্ট ছিল যে উনি যেন কিশোর কুমারের ওই গানটা আমার বাড়ির ওই তোমার বাড়ির সামনে দিয়ে আমার মরণ যাত্রা যেদিন যাবি,
সুন্দর একটা
ওই গানটা যেন গান। আর অনির্বাণ দাদার কাছে আরেকটা রিকোয়েস্ট, উনি কি কোনো গজল পরিবেশন করতে পারবেন?
নিশ্চয়ই করব।
ঠিক আছে, তাহলে সম্ভব হলে মোহাম্মদ রফির একটা গজল যেন আমার জন্য প্লিজ।
আচ্ছা, মোহাম্মদ রফির গজল ডেফিনেটলি অনেক ভার্সেটাইল একজন সিঙ্গার মোহাম্মদ রফি। তো তার গজল, কাওয়ালি সব ধরনের গানই আছে। এখন আমি জানি না, কিন্তু অনির্বাণ ডেফিনেটলি গজল করবে। আমাদের আরেকজন কলার চলে এসেছে। হ্যালো।
ওকে, ঠিক আছে।
ভালো থাকবেন। হ্যালো। হ্যালো।
হ্যালো।
হ্যালো, আমাদের বাংলাদেশ থেকে কল করেছেন। কে বলছেন?
হ্যালো, আমি একটু আগেই কল করেছিলাম, যে হবিগঞ্জ থেকে সুপ্রিয়া।
সুপ্রিয়া, বলুন।
হ্যাঁ, আমি একটু আমিন ভাইয়ের সাথে কথা বলতে চাই।
নিশ্চয়ই। আমরা আমিন ভাইয়ের সাথে একটু কানেক্ট করে দিই আমাদের কলারকে। আমিন ভাই শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
হ্যালো সুপ্রিয়া, আমি আপনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি না।
হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ সুপ্রিয়া, আমি আপনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি এখন। হ্যালো, আপনি কি আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন? আই থিংক আমার মাইক্রোফোনটা হয়তো বা মিউট করা ছিল যখন দেখছিলাম। আপনি কি আমাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছেন সুপ্রিয়া?
আমরা মনে হয় লাইভে দর্শকদের সাথে কানেক্ট করাটা ডিফিকাল্ট হয়ে যাবে। উইল ট্রাই অ্যাবাউট দ্যাট, উইল ট্রাই টু গেট ব্যাক টু ইট। আমিন ভাই, আপনি কি শুনেছিলেন আমাদের কলার?
শুনতে পাচ্ছি, আমি ওনাকে শুনতে পাচ্ছি। আমার মনে হয়
উনি শুনতে পাচ্ছিলেন,
মনে মিউটেড ছিল।
হ্যাঁ না, উনি ছিলেন ওখানে, ওনার কথা আবার আমি শুনছি, কিন্তু এদিকে আপনি শুনছেন না। যাই হোক, তো কলার আপনারা কল করতে থাকুন, রিকোয়েস্ট আমরা পাচ্ছি। আর আমিন ভাইয়ের জন্য যে গানটা আছে, আমিন ভাই আপনার কি জানা আছে গানটা তোমার বাড়ির সামনে দিয়ে?
ইনফ্যাক্ট আমি যখন আপনি কথা বলছিলেন আমাদের ওই ভাইয়ের সাথে, তো আমি একটা গানের মানে এটা সবার পরিচিত গান একটা, ওটার আমি কারিওকে ট্র্যাকটা বের করলাম। আমি জাস্ট ট্রাই করে দেখি ওটা কাজ করে কিনা। ইজ দ্যাট ওকে?
নিশ্চয়ই নিশ্চয়ই,
ইট শুড ওয়ার্ক। আমি আজ মিউজিকটা যখন অন হবে আপনি বলতে পারবেন যে এটা কাজ হচ্ছে কিনা।
ওকে
ওকে, লেটস ট্রাই। এটা কি শোনা যাচ্ছে?
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. চিরদিনই তুমি যে আমার, যুগে যুগে আমি তোমারি। চিরদিনই তুমি যে আমার, যুগে যুগে আমি তোমারি। আমি আছি সেই যে তোমার, তুমি আছো সেই আমারি সঙ্গী সঙ্গী। আমরা অমর সঙ্গী। এত কাছে রয়েছো তুমি, আরো কাছে তোমাকে যে চাই। তুমি ছাড়া এমন আপন আমার যে আর কেউ নাই। এত কাছে রয়েছো তুমি, আরো কাছে তোমাকে যে চাই। তুমি ছাড়া এমন আপন আমার যে আর কেউ নাই। আমি কি গো তোমাকে ছেড়ে একা একা থাকতে পারি সঙ্গী সঙ্গী। আমরা অমর সঙ্গী।
জীবন ঘুরিয়ে যদি পাবো এক নতুন জীবন, সেদিনও হবে একাকার দুজনার এই দুটি মন। সে জীবন ঘুরিয়ে যেদিন পাবো এক নতুন জীবন, সেদিনও হবে একাকার দুজনার এই দুটি মন। হৃদয়ে সব কবিতায় ঝরে পড়ে ছন্দ তারি, চিরদিনই তুমি যে আমার, যুগে যুগে আমি তোমারি। আমি আছি সেই যে তোমার, তুমি আছো সেই আমারি সঙ্গী সঙ্গী। আমরা অমর সঙ্গী।
Amin bhai, thank you. These songs always, it sounds so good in your voice, these songs.
It was difficult because, you know, the monitor was messed up, so I had to take the headphone off because I was keep on getting the delay so much, and it was becoming a problem. But
so as you said that you're trying to make it look easier for people, we always know sometimes it just come and bite us in the back, so to speak.
I mean, live is so much better, of course.
It's really so. As you can see, everyone, I've sat down with my guitar because I thought that since we have two more singers, and I feel like both are my very loving brothers, so I'd like to join forces today. And since we already had bit of a classical, and we'd have more coming, and Amin bhai's lovely modern songs. So I'd like to perform a very famous song and very favorite song of mine. I hope everyone would like it. It's called Jealous by Labyrinth, and it's an English song. I'm jealous of the rain that falls upon your skin. It's closer than my hands have been. Oh, I'm jealous of the rain. I'm jealous of the wind that ripples through your clothes. It's closer than your shadows. Oh, I'm jealous of the wind. I wished you the best of all this world could give, and I told you when you left me, there's nothing to forgive. But I always thought you'd come back telling me all you found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. I'm jealous of the night that I don't spend with you. I'm wondering who you lay next to. Oh, I'm jealous of the night. I'm jealous of the love that wasn't here. Have gone for someone else to share. Oh, I'm jealous of the love. I wished you the best of all this world could give, and I told you when you left me, there's nothing to forgive. But I always thought you'd come back, telling me all you found was heartbreak and misery. It's hard for me to say I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. It's hard for me to say I'm jealous of the way you're happy without me. Thank you. So that was different kinds of music that bring us together, and different kind of performance, different styles, and we were all trained in a different way, but end of the day, it's the same language that we speak. So that's the beauty. Sorry, I can't hear Amin Bhai again. No, still not. For some reason, can I hear Anirban? Yeah, I can hear Anirban.
Yeah.
Amin Bhai, is your mic?
The microphone.
Yeah. So you were saying, Amin Bhai, sorry, I missed it.
Wonderful. It was absolutely brilliant. Really enjoyed it. It was sounding so good as well. It's just that because you're to be good because you're
Thank you, Amin Bhai. Well, we have Amin Bhai there, he with his amazing songs. In the meantime, I'd like to listen to some of the comments that we had. We had one of our regular listeners, at the same time regular viewers, I would say, Labunno from Toronto. She is a regular for Relax TV, and she was saying, what a wonderful, Relax Radios, yeah, very regular. What a fantastic fusion, loved it. And she said, hi, Amin Raja Bhai, hope you're doing well. Like to hear some beautiful song from you. Yeah, definitely we're doing that. There's someone, Marvin, he's from California. And then we have Krishna Palmer, she's from London, and she said, hi Krishna, hi back to you. And we had Mojina Begum, happy Father's Day to Amin Raja and all the fathers in the world.
Thank you.
Amin Bhai, have you got an opportunity to celebrate it today?
Every day is a
yeah, every day is a Father's Day. That's nice. And Subna Gaji Mustafa, amazing Ershad Bhai, thank you. Jahangir Nakir, great show, thank you. I mean, all good comments, thanks a lot. Oshadharan Amin Bhai, dujon bhalo uposthapak. So definitely Amin Bhai is there, and thanks, very kind of them to include me in that list. Amin Bhai bhalo hocche, aru sundor, okay. Wonderful voice. That's for Anirban, wonderful voice, enjoying, definitely. And the last one is from Prakriti Roy. I think it's based on that English song. The combination of East and West is a stream of globalization for future. That's the main idea, to bring people together. That's the main idea of In Harmony with Ershad.
Absolutely.
So I'd like to go back to Amin Bhai and just quickly have a chat about your recent projects. That
what are we trying to do at the moment?
Oh, exactly. In terms of your musical projects, because I know.
Oh yeah. I'm working on a few things, and I've released a single, which is in Bangla and in Hindi with T-Series. Thankfully, first Bangladeshi Bengali to release on T-Series.
Wow.
So Alhamdulillah, managed to do so. And due to coronavirus, things are going a little bit slow. But alhamdulillah, I can see that a lot of people have watched it, gone over 360,000. So alhamdulillah, it's doing okay, and people will be watching it. So inshallah, whoever is watching, another thing I forgot to tell everybody, because আমাদের নামটা হচ্ছে রিল্যাক্স রেডিও, এটা নাম ইংলিশ হলেও বাংলা, এই জন্য কারণ আমরা রিল্যাক্স রেডিও সব আপনার ভাষায় কথা বলে, শুদ্ধ বাংলা, শুদ্ধ সিলেটি, শুদ্ধ যে কোনো ডিস্ট্রিক্টের ডায়ালেক্ট হোক, বরিশালী হোক, we try to speak all the শুদ্ধ local dialects. Okay. So inshallah আপনারা যেখানে দেখছেন, of course রিল্যাক্স রেডিও কিন্তু বাংলায়ও চলে এবং ইংরেজিতেও চলে. So
I remember I've done an episode where I played songs from all different districts of Bangladesh. So it was a very interesting episode, and I enjoyed doing that. And we had such versatility and at the same time such diversity in the same country. Like in India, same thing. ANIRBAN can definitely comment on that. Amin bhai, let's have a quick chat probably.
Sure.
In terms of Relax Radio's future projects, you already have diverted. There's an English version, Bengali, and there's music as well, just dedicated to music. So in terms of music, what kind of music are you playing there? Is it from Bangladesh or all around the world?
World music. Basically, we, of course, first thing, because there are 3 apps, so that means there are 3 studios.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the Bangla, of course, alhamdulillah, we're almost 24 hours now live.
Yeah.
So because we have broadcasters from USA, Canada, Bangladesh, India, and UK at the moment. Of course, we are looking for more people who want to really amplify their voice, and people like ourselves who wants to be part of a family and want to do something great.
Yeah.
And something positive without the negativity. So if anybody has that, they think that they want to do something right in their life, well, Relax Radio there, where you don't have to use any oil to malish somebody, you know. You have to as long as you have it, you are in it. Basically.
I mean, it's really hard to sometimes for people. I mean, that kind of a practice is really negative, and at the same time, you're being very outspoken, which we have every right to be. And I understand some people would not like the way things are done or what we are saying, what we are talking about, but power to them. The thing is, if they know that whatever has happened and it's not a good practice, I think probably it's time to change our behavior.
Just to let me ask you, Ershad, when you were doing the radio shows at that time, because obviously due to this distance and all that was an issue. But other than that, did you have any restrictions?
No, that's one of the reasons why I went to Relax Radio, because I thought that I would start a show from my social commitment in terms of bringing the people in the community to get them to discuss about a lot of life issues or social issues, what they're facing. And normally you can't do that one on television or in the usual format.
Even in the televisions, too many red tapes for their own TV.
Exactly.
Right? What happens is they ask you to, I mean, very rarely. For example, if in our community, what happens? That when, let's suppose your uncle or your somebody within your family, except your father, even your father sometimes could be an issue. But let's suppose uncle or mama or somebody opens up a TV or radio station. They won't, like, they know Ershad is good, but they won't contact Ershad. They will contact everybody else but Ershad. It's always the case. Our own people neglect us. So in our community, in UK, we have a very small community. Within this little community, they forget us, they bypass us, and they go to somebody else, whereas they have to train them. When we, alhamdulillah, we're born, we're passionate, because before anything else in media, you got to have passion. If you don't have passion, you should not be in this field at all, because it's something that, because this thing keeps us going, because without passion, you will get tired. And you will be bored, and you won't know what to do, and you've got to be creative. And if you're not passionate, you won't be creative.
Because you can pretend up to a certain point of time. After that, it really becomes exhausting. You can't pretend for a long time. And that's a very good point, that sometimes we miss out on our own people. Even we don't know how to use the talents. Sometimes just out of jealousy.
So stingy our community that will not praise you. Say, for example, Ershad is doing this. I mean, look, Ershad does so many things. You do music. You are then not only just me. You sing. You are a sound engineer. You are tell me lot more things because you do
I
too
have
many.
joined Royal Navy as well recently.
Royal Navy as well. So
Yeah.
like this, I do a lot of things, right? So people think it's not possible. Well, if you want to do something, everything is possible because
Exactly.
moving train, we're like a circle line in the underground.
Yeah.
We go round and round. If you want to hop on, hop on. If you don't want to, then you just stay
Exactly.
behind.
I mean, the thing is that people who try to drag you down, it never happens. If you're about to move on, move forward, then you will move on. We have a call. Oh, I lost that call. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. If you want to, like I said, they're so stingy in terms of.
Amin bhai, sorry to interrupt. Can we take this call?
Sure.
They're calling quite repeatedly. Hello. আপনার টেলিভিশন, আপনার কম্পিউটারের ভলিউমটা যদি আপনি একটু কমিয়ে দেন।
ওয়াও,
সরাসরি আমাদের সাথে ফোনে কথা বলুন প্লিজ। হ্যালো
হ্যালো
হ্যালো, আপনাকে
বুঝতে পারিনি।
আপনার মোবাইল বা কম্পিউটারের ভলিউমটা বন্ধ করে আমাদের সাথে সরাসরি ফোনে কথা বলুন, তাহলে আমরা শুনতে পাবো আপনাকে ক্লিয়ার। হ্যালো, হ্যাঁ শুনতে পাচ্ছি আপনাকে, বলুন কে বলছেন?
জি, আমি বাংলাদেশ থেকে বিশ্বজিৎ দেব উজ্জ্বল বলছিলাম।
বাহ, ওকে বিশ্বজিৎ।
আমি আত্মজন পরিবারের যুগ্ম সম্পাদক।
আমরা আত্মজনের ব্যাপারে ভবিষ্যতে দর্শকরা হয়তো ভাবছেন আত্মজন এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা কি, বা আত্মজনের পক্ষ থেকে যারা কল করছেন তারা কে। তো আমরা সেই ব্যাপারে আলাপ করব। আমাদের একটা অনুষ্ঠানে নিশ্চয়ই আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানাবো আত্মজনের কার্যক্রম এবং যে ধরনের কাজগুলো আপনারা করছেন এখন। তো আপনারা রিসেন্টলি শুরু করেছেন, তো ইটস এ ভেরি নোবেল ইনিশিয়েটিভ। সো আইড লাইক টু ব্রিং or shed some light on it or the kind of work you're doing. So definitely we'll talk about this. থ্যাংক ইউ আপনার কলের জন্য। আর আপনার কোনো রিকোয়েস্ট, কোনো অপিনিয়ন, কোনো সাজেশন আমাদের জন্য আছে কিনা অনুষ্ঠানে?
হ্যাঁ, অপিনিয়নটা আগে বলতে চাই।
নিশ্চয়ই।
উপস্থাপনাটা হচ্ছে অনবদ্য। ভেবেছিলাম উপস্থাপককে ধন্যবাদ দেব, কিন্তু পাশাপাশি আবার ধন্যবাদ দিতে হচ্ছে উপস্থাপক একজন ভালো সিঙ্গারও। দারুণ একটা গান শুনলাম ওনার, খুব ভালো লাগলো। পাশাপাশি আমিন ভাইকে অনুরোধ করতে চাই, উনি অমর সঙ্গীর একটা গান গাইলেন। সমসাময়িক যদি এই হে আমার গুরু দক্ষিণা অথবা তোমরা যদি ওই আঘাত করো নেই অপমান, এই দুটো গানের একটি যদি গেয়ে দিতেন ভালো লাগতো। আর অনির্বাণ দাদার কাছে বলতে চাই, যদি উনি নজরুল সঙ্গীত হারানো হিয়ার নিকুঞ্জ পথে গানটি যদি গাইতেন ভালো লাগতো। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ। অনুষ্ঠান খুবই সুন্দর হচ্ছে। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ। ভালো থাকবেন, আবার কথা হবে। So what I was saying that once we have started a particular trend, say you are singing songs from Kishore Kumar, you'll have all the requests coming in. Anirban, all Nozrul Githis now, so we'll have to change it. So let's go back to Anirban. Anirban, probably you can change the environment a little bit, and we can have something totally different, and we'll have new requests. And I'll get back to Amin Bhai again. We'll carry on the discussion.
Yeah. So
Anirban,
thank you.
Your mic. Probably we need to check your mic if it's unmuted. It's unmuted.
I think
okay.
I'm on.
We can't hear Anirban. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. So it was nice, really nice experience to hear Amin Bhai and Ershad. Of course, you took me back 10 years to London when I heard you for the first time and we shared stage. So another common thing between you and me, Ershad and me, is ghazals. I think because other than the guitar, Ershad Bhai is also very much at ease with the harmonium and sings ghazals. And I kind of developed a familiarity and love for ghazals from you. I would be very frank in saying that, because I never performed sang ghazals before that. I always used to sing Hariharan Ji's repertoire, but Ghulam Ali Ji and of course Mehdi Hassan Sahab.
I'd like to share a quick information since you mentioned that. One of your songs, your ghazal, I think it's a collective ghazal, Tanha Tanha. So that song I've performed a few places. When I heard on your tape, on your record, on your album, it was so amazing. I started performing it. Trust me, everyone, wherever I go now, everyone is like, can you sing Tanha Tanha? Can you sing Tanha Tanha?
Yeah.
So are we going to have that one tonight?
Yeah. Why not?
Let's have a listen to that.
Yeah. It brings back old memories.
Yeah.
It was my first album,
Yeah.
my first arrangement as well,
Wow.
and it was released back in 2013. And the first release was also in London again.
Yeah.
I was on a tour, and then I released. Then the final digital release was 6 months later, and by the end of 2013. So
Okay.
yeah, why not?
Let's
Tanha
have
Tanha.
it. Yeah.
दिल की चोटों ने कभी चैन से रहने ना दिया क्या चली सर्द हवा मैंने तुझे याद किया याद किया तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है सावन की घटा बेशुमार है सावन की घटा बेशुमार है नन्हा नन्हा सा बूंद की प्यासा नन्हा नन्हा सा बूंद की प्यासा आंखों का पानी जवाब है तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है नीने सा सा गा गा सा समारे नीने पानी दा प ग म प ग म ध ध नि सा रे नि प ग प नि सा मेरे दिल की ये परेशानियां कोई न जाने रे अकेले भीड़ में यूं खो गई रे दिल की ये परेशानियां कोई न जाने रे अकेले भीड़ में यूं खो गई रे टूटा टूटा सा टूटा ये दिल है टूटा टूटा सा टूटा ये दिल है लाचारी की सीने लूटा है नन्हा नन्हा सा बूंद की प्यासा आंखों का पानी जवाब है तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है तन्हा तन्हा सा तन्हा ये दिल है
वाह Amazing,
Absolutely.
Anirban.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we would know why people always request whenever I sing this song. Whose composition is this one? I mean,
this was partly adapted by me. I wouldn't say this was my composition. The initial composition was by Pandit Rajiv Chakraborty, the great Sarod maestro of Calcutta. So he penned this down. It is his lyrics and his composition. But later on, I adapted it in a slightly different manner for my album. But I took permission from him.
Wow.
And yeah,
Lovely. As always, I'd like to add an information for all the viewers who are watching it. If you have any technical difficulty at the moment, you can watch the show on www.artvn.tv. So I'd like to repeat www.artvn.tv. And you have the scroll going on at the same time. So I understand because we are on social media and probably we had the video from T-Series. So probably there had been an issue. Just for social media. But we'll have the show coming tonight again, the repeat one, but people can watch if they go to the website. So that's fine. So going back to Amin Bhai. So Amin Bhai, you were adding something towards the end when we were having that conversation.
Yes, I was.
I'd like to keep Anirban as well in this conversation because he can add something to it. Because we are all from the Bengali community. He's from Kolkata, but that's again, we are dealing with Bengalis. So the kind of mentality and everything.
Yeah, your voice.
I'm having echo. I can see that.
Not. Yeah, is it much better? Thank you.
You are getting. I'm getting echo from you as well.
Now I'm getting echo as well.
I don't know what's happening.
It was all good. But, yeah. What I was trying to say is in our community, is so much better.
Anirban, are you having the same trouble if you talk?
When I'm talking, yeah, but not right now. It's resolved. When I was singing it, there was a lot of feedback. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I didn't do it.
I'm getting the same.
What I was saying is that in our community is the lack of appreciation. Something that I don't know why they feel that they're going to lose something if they appreciate somebody or tell somebody that you're good, or if they actually supported us, like if they were behind us. Because what happened is, like we were talking about earlier on, that everybody starts to open their own Modi Dukan rather than making it a superstore. So everybody just wants to do their own thing. Even in our community, we have a lot of TV channels in UK. Okay, Relax Radio is not that big, but it's not that small. A lot of people know the fragrance is everywhere, alhamdulillah, around the world. But within UK, a lot of TV channels, or not a lot of all the TV channels, don't want to recognize it. It's a shame. They need to grow up and do something about it. At least come and say, you know what? Let's talk about ARTV network, or let's talk about, because everybody nowadays.
Because I would like to add in this connection, because look, you sing, and Anirban sings as well. And Anirban is such a consummate singer himself. But wherever the credit is due, we are not scared to give the credit, and we are not scared to admire each other. So this is the practice we need to have. You know, we grow and everyone is unique. What Anirban can do, I can't do. What you can do, I can't do. But at the same time, what I can do, that probably two of you can't do, because we are all unique.
When we all combine it together, like this 4 screen.
We have Anwar Sadi with us as well from Bangladesh.
Look at this. 4 screen makes one good-looking TV.
Exactly. And it never happened before.
So there were 3 screens.
Yeah.
They were missing on 2 sides.
Yeah. So I'd like to add in this connection, because Anwar Sadi from Bangladesh, he is one of the senior news editors of News 24. And we were missing you for quite some time. Anwar Sadi, you probably had a very, very busy schedule today. So
it was
straight away, get into the point. First of all, how are you? How's it going?
I'm fine. I'm fine, thank you. And I'm very sorry for being late. It was really a very rushed day.
It's fine. We understand. It's quite late in Bangladesh as well. So probably we'll have quite a brief chat from you in terms of, we always know that you always join this show from Bangladesh, and we get the latest picture of COVID-19, whatever is happening there. So would you like to give the audience a little bit of, I mean, even in Bengali, because we have a lot of Bengali audiences all around the world watching. So what's happening? And we're talking about Bangladesh as well. So definitely it's Bangladeshi people who are watching it. So what's happening, and what do you think, if you have any new analysis or any new observation that you have come around with?
রাইট, এই মুহূর্তে আসলে বাংলাদেশে সংক্রমণ পিক চলছে, মানে সর্বোচ্চ সংক্রমণে বাংলাদেশ পৌঁছে গেছে নাকি সর্বোচ্চ সংক্রমণ সামনে পড়ে আছে, এই বিষয়টি বাংলাদেশে এখন ব্যাপক আলোচিত হচ্ছে। বিশেষ করে চীনের যে চিকিৎসক প্রতিনিধি দল আছেন তারা এখন বাংলাদেশে সফর করছেন, বিভিন্ন লোকজনের সঙ্গে তারা কথা বলছেন। আজকে কূটনৈতিক প্রতিবেদকদের সংগঠন ডিকেবের সঙ্গেও তারা একটি বৈঠক করেছে। এই বৈঠকগুলো হচ্ছে অনলাইন, জুম সফটওয়্যার ব্যবহার করে নানান ভাবে, এবং সেখানে তারা বলছেন যে বাংলাদেশের পিক এখন চলছে না সামনে, এই ব্যাপারটি অনিশ্চিত। এবং এই আলোচনা থেকে অনেক কিছুই বাংলাদেশের জন্য কবে পিক সেটি জানা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, কারণ বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতিকে সচল রেখে বিভিন্ন জায়গাতে লকডাউন করে করোনা ভাইরাসকে নিয়ন্ত্রণের একটি চেষ্টা চলছে। সেই ক্ষেত্রে কবে নাগাদ এই ভাইরাস পরিস্থিতি নিয়ন্ত্রণে চলে আসবে তা জানার জন্য দেশে পিক চলছে কি চলছে না সে বিষয়টি জানা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। ফলে এখন এই বিষয়টি নিয়ে আলাপ আলোচনা হচ্ছে চারদিকে। আর বিভিন্নভাবে অনেকেই বিভিন্ন জায়গাতে নানান জনগোষ্ঠীর মানুষজন তারা তাদের আশঙ্কার কথা নানান ভাবে বলছেন, বিভিন্ন শ্রেণীর লোকজন যে তারা কিভাবে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হচ্ছেন সেই ব্যাপারটি সামনে তুলে নিয়ে আসছেন, এবং এই ক্ষতি থেকে উত্তরণের জন্য সরকারের দিক থেকে কি ধরনের সহযোগিতা তারা চান সেই কথাগুলো তারা বলছেন। টেলিভিশনগুলোতে মূলত এগুলোই চলছে। আর পাশাপাশি চিকিৎসা এবং চিকিৎসার জন্য নতুন যেসব ব্যবস্থা করা হচ্ছে, নতুন আইসোলেশন সেন্টার খোলা হচ্ছে, এবং স্বাস্থ্য মন্ত্রণালয়ের দিক থেকে চিকিৎসার যেসব উদ্যোগ, নতুন যেসব যন্ত্রপাতি এবং সুবিধার বিষয়গুলো সংযোজন করা হচ্ছে সেসব বিষয় নিয়েও আলাপ আলোচনা চলছে। কিন্তু যেটি লক্ষণীয় বিষয় সেটি হলো যে রাজধানী ঢাকায় জীবনযাত্রা একদম আগের মতো প্রায় স্বাভাবিক হয়ে এসেছে। পুলিশের দিক থেকে তো বলাই হচ্ছে যে তারা যখন দায়িত্বে থাকেন তখন তারা অনেককেই দেখতে পান যে সামাজিক দূরত্ব তারা মেনে চলছেন, অনেকেই দেখতে পান যারা সামাজিক দূরত্ব মেনে চলছেন না। আবার বাংলাদেশে একটি ট্রেন্ড আছে যে মাস্ক পরে ঘর থেকে বের হচ্ছে কিন্তু মাস্কটি থুতনির মধ্যে লাগিয়ে কথা বলছে। যথাযথভাবে মাস্কের ব্যবহার অনেকে করছেন না, সামাজিক দূরত্ব অনেকে মানছেন না বলেই অভিযোগ রয়েছে। ফলে একটি প্রশ্ন এখন ওঠে, সেটি হলো যে আসলে সাধারণ মানুষের ভেতরে ঠিক সবাই এই মহামারীর গুরুত্ব এবং ভাইরাসটি কিভাবে ছড়ায় সেই বিষয়টি তারা এখনো বুঝে উঠতে পেরেছেন কিনা, এই বিষয় নিয়ে একটি প্রশ্ন আছে। এরশাদ।
ওকে, একটা কোয়েশ্চেন, যে এত রকমের স্টেপ নেওয়া হয়েছে, যে অনেক পদক্ষেপ নেওয়া হচ্ছে সরকারের পক্ষ থেকে, তো সেখান থেকে যেখানে স্পেশালি ঢাকার ব্যাপারে যেটা বলা হচ্ছে যে মানুষের জীবনযাত্রার কোনো পরিবর্তন হয়নি, কারণ আমি রিসেন্টলি একজনের সাথে কথা বলেছি যিনি কলকাতায় এবং খুব প্রমিনেন্ট একজন মিউজিশিয়ান। তো ওনার সাথে যখন কথা বলছি উনি বলছে হ্যাঁ সব চলে যাবে, একদিন আমরা সবকিছুতে অভ্যস্ত হয়ে উঠবো। কিন্তু ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে, একটা হচ্ছে অভ্যস্ততা, আরেকটা হচ্ছে আসলে কি ভাইরাসটার সাথে আমরা যুদ্ধ করে জিততে পেরেছি কিনা, সেটা একটা কোয়েশ্চেন। তো এখন যেটা আমরা জোর করে যেটা জেতার চেষ্টা করছি সেটা কি আসলে ফলপ্রসূ হবে? সেটা আমাদের জন্য কি ভালো কোনো রেজাল্ট বয়ে আনবে, ভালো কোনো ফলাফল নিয়ে আসবে?
আচ্ছা, এখন ঢাকায় জীবনযাত্রা আগের মতো হয়ে গেছে, সব মানুষ বাইরে এসেছে, ব্যাপারটা আসলে ঠিক তা নয়। ঢাকাতে প্রায় 2.25 কোটি মানুষ বসবাস করে। নিউজিল্যান্ডের দেশটির টোটাল জনসংখ্যার কয়েক গুণ মানুষ এই একটি শহরে বসবাস করে, এবং এখানে একটি অংশ আছেন যারা খুবই সচেতন, বিনা প্রয়োজনে যারা ঘরের বাইরে বের হননি এবং যথাযথভাবে তারা সোশ্যাল ডিস্টেন্সিং, সামাজিক দূরত্ব, লকডাউন নিজেরা মেনে চলছে। কিছু মানুষ আছে যাদেরকে কাজের প্রয়োজনে বাইরে যেতেই হচ্ছে, তাদের মধ্যে পুলিশ রয়েছে, তাদের মধ্যে সশস্ত্র বাহিনী রয়েছে, তাদের মধ্যে সাংবাদিক রয়েছে, তাদের মধ্যে ফায়ার সার্ভিসের কর্মকর্তা রয়েছে, তাদের মধ্যে যারা হাসপাতালে কাজ করেন, ডাক্তার, নার্স, ওয়ার্ড বয়, কর্মকর্তা, কর্মচারী, এমনকি হাসপাতালের যারা ক্লিনিং করে তারা রয়েছে, ক্লিনিং যারা করে তাদেরকে যারা ম্যানেজ করে সিটি কর্পোরেশনের কর্মকর্তা তারা রয়েছে, ওয়াসা, ডেসা, বিদ্যুৎ, পানি ইত্যাদি ইত্যাদি জরুরি সেবার জন্য যারা কাজ করেন তাদেরকে বাইরে বের হতে হচ্ছে। তাদেরকে আমরা বলছি এসেনশিয়াল ওয়ার্কার, তাদেরকে আমরা বলছি ফ্রন্ট লাইনার, করোনা ভাইরাসের সম্মুখ সারির যোদ্ধা। এর বাইরে আরো একটি শ্রেণী আছে যারা ঘরের বাইরে বের না হলে তাদের পেট চলছে না, যারা রিক্সা চালায়। এখন অনেকে চলে গেছে গ্রামে।
এটা একটা মূল সমস্যা আসলে।
এটা একটা অন্যতম। শুধু তৃতীয় বিশ্ব কেন বলি, যখন লকডাউন তুলে নেওয়া হলো ইটালিতে, তখন আমি একজনের স্টোরি পড়লাম বিবিসিতে যে তার একটা পিজার দোকান ছিল এবং তার দোকানটি তার নাই হয়ে গেছে। লকডাউনে থাকতে থাকতে তার আর সেই দোকান খোলার মতো সামর্থ্য নাই, সে গরিব হয়ে গেছে।
যেমন আমাদের এখানে সরকারের থেকে একটা বড় রকমের অনুদান পাওয়া গেছে এবং যারা সেলফ এমপ্লয়েড তাদের পক্ষ থেকে এবং যারা বিজনেস চালাচ্ছেন, যেহেতু আর যে মানুষগুলোকে ফার্লো দেওয়া হয়েছে অথবা যারা ছুটিতে ছিলেন সেই সময় তারা বেতন পেয়ে যাচ্ছিলেন, মানুষ যাতে চাকরি না হারায় সেটার জন্য সরকারের একটা পদক্ষেপ ছিল। কিন্তু বাংলাদেশের পক্ষে অথবা আমেরিকা পর্যন্ত বলেছে আমাদের পক্ষে এই জিনিসটা সম্ভব না, যেখানে ইমরান খান পাকিস্তানে বলেছেন যে আমরা কিন্তু লকডাউন কন্টিনিউ করতে পারবো না বা আমাদের পক্ষে লকডাউন দেওয়া সম্ভব না, কারণ ইকোনমির জন্য এটা ভায়াবল না।
বাংলাদেশে যে সহায়তার ব্যাপার আছে, যখন করোনা ভাইরাসের প্রাদুর্ভাব শুরু হলো বাংলাদেশে, তখন কারো কিছু চাইতে হয়নি। সরকারের তরফ থেকে প্রথমে এসেই রপ্তানি খাত ঠিক রাখার জন্য 5,000 কোটি টাকার একটি প্রণোদনা সরকারের দিক থেকে ঘোষণা করা হয়েছিল। তখন অর্থনীতিবিদরা বলেছেন যে বাংলাদেশের অর্থনীতি যে শক্তিশালী, এই ঘটনা, প্রণোদনা দেওয়ার ঘটনা তারই একটি প্রমাণ। এবং পরবর্তীতে আমরা দেখতে পেলাম যে এই প্রণোদনার অঙ্কটি বড় হয়েছে এবং বিভিন্নভাবে সেটি বলা হয়েছে। এবং সহযোগিতার ক্ষেত্রে যে কথাটি বলা যায় যে ত্রাণ নিয়ে সরকারি যে উদ্যোগ আছে সেই উদ্যোগের পাশাপাশি বেসরকারি উদ্যোগ আমরা দেখেছি, এমনকি সাধারণ মানুষ তারাও উদ্যোগ নিয়েছেন এবং অনেক স্বেচ্ছাসেবী সংগঠন যারা কাজ করছে বাংলাদেশে তাদেরকে যে কিছু পারেননি তিনিও হয়তো 1,000 টাকা বিকাশ করে পাঠিয়ে দিয়েছেন মোবাইলের মাধ্যমে। হ্যাঁ, সো এই উদ্যোগগুলো ছিল, কিন্তু সেগুলো বাস্তবায়নের ব্যাপারে প্রশ্ন আছে। এটা পত্র পত্রিকায় রিপোর্ট হয়েছে যে অনেক জনপ্রতিনিধির চাকরি চলে গেছে, বরখাস্ত হয়েছে, অনেকে জেলে চলে গেছে। এটি নিয়ে যারা অনিয়ম করতে চেয়েছে তাদের ব্যাপারে ব্যাপক ব্যবস্থা নেওয়া হয়েছে। কিন্তু কথা হলো যে দিনের পর দিন কত মাস ধরে এই প্রণোদনা, এই সহযোগিতা চালানো সম্ভব? ইউকেতে যা করা হয়েছে, সেখানে ইউকে সরাসরি সহযোগিতা করতে পারে নাগরিকদের। আমাদের এখানে 2,500 টাকা করে ঈদের আগে প্রধানমন্ত্রীর দিক থেকে একটা বেশ ভালো একটা জনগোষ্ঠীকে একটি টাকা দেয়া হয়েছে, নগদ অর্থ সহায়তা করা হয়েছে। কিন্তু কথা হলো 2,500 টাকায় একজন মানুষ কতদিন চলতে পারে? এখানে তো মানুষের সংখ্যা অনেক বেশি। যাই হোক, এসব যে বিষয়গুলো আছে সরকারের দিক থেকে এখানেও উদ্যোগ নেওয়া হয়েছে। কিন্তু ঢাকা শহরের যে কথাটি বলছিলাম যে আগের পরিস্থিতি ঢাকা শহরে চলে এসেছে ঠিক তা না। অনেক মানুষ নেমেছে জীবিকার প্রয়োজনে, সবকিছু খোলা হয়ে গেছে। আবার যাদের সামর্থ্য আছে তারা এখনো ঘর থেকে বের হয়নি, তারা তাদের নিজেদের মতো আছে। আর একটি জনগোষ্ঠী যারা নিম্ন আয়ের, তাদের অনেকেই ঢাকার বাড়িটি ছেড়ে গ্রামের বাড়িতে চলে গেছেন, যেহেতু এখানে অনেক কর্মসংস্থান অনেকে তারা করতে পারছেন না, যেমন নির্মাণ শ্রমিক, যেমন গৃহ পরিচারিকা, আর যেমন রিক্সা চালক। এই 3টে শ্রেণীর মানুষ যে এলাকায় বসবাস করতেন তাদের মধ্যে রিক্সা চালকরা এখন ঢাকা শহরে রিক্সা চালিয়ে জীবিকা নির্বাহ করতে পারছেন, কিন্তু নির্মাণ শ্রমিকদের অনেকেই গ্রামে চলে যাচ্ছেন। গৃহ পরিচারিকাদেরকে অনেকে রাখছেন না, কিন্তু বেতন দিচ্ছেন যাদের সামর্থ্য আছে। এই মানবিক দিকটা আছে ঢাকায়, যে গৃহ পরিচারিকাকে আসতে হবে না সংক্রমণ ঠেকানোর জন্য, কিন্তু সে বেতন পাচ্ছে।
একটা চমৎকার জিনিস আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে যে এখন একটু সরি টু ইন্টারাপ্ট, যে এতদিন ধরে যে ক্যাপিটালিস্টিক যে সিস্টেম, যে ধনতান্ত্রিক সমাজে যে একটা সমস্যা ছিল, যেখানে আমরা বারবার করে বলছি যে ইউ হ্যাভ টু হ্যাভ দ্য এলিজেন্স টুয়ার্ডস ইউর কান্ট্রি অ্যান্ড ইউ হ্যাভ টু দ্য আইডিয়া অফ প্রাইভেট প্রপার্টি, যে আমার সম্পত্তি, এটা আমার লাভ, কার প্রফিট, আমরা মানুষের উপরে প্রফিটকে বা লাভকে বেশি যেখানে প্রায়োরিটি দিচ্ছিলাম। তো একটা জিনিস কোভিডের যেটা পজিটিভ দিক আমার কাছে মনে হয় যে ডেফিনেটলি আমরা অনেককে হারিয়েছি এবং একটা নেতিবাচক দিক, কিন্তু পরিবেশকে যে পরিমাণ আমরা অ্যাবিউজ করেছি এবং এনভায়রনমেন্টের দিক থেকে আমরা যেভাবে নিজেদেরকে একটা সময় যে পুরো পৃথিবীতে যে আমরা ছাড়া, মানব জাতি ছাড়া যে অন্যান্য প্রাণীগুলো আছে এবং বায়োডাইভার্সিটি আছে তাদেরকে পুরোপুরি অগ্রাহ্য করেছি, ওই সময়টা যেমন ঠিক কোভিডের পরপর লকডাউনের পরবর্তী সময় আমি চারপাশে শুনতাম যে পাখির আওয়াজ শোনা যাচ্ছে অনেক বেশি, যে দেখা যাচ্ছে যে আকাশে কোনো প্লেন দেখা যাচ্ছে না, তো পাখিদেরকে দেখা যাচ্ছে বাসার চারপাশে। আমি সেই আওয়াজটা, সেটা বাংলাদেশে অনেকে সেই জিনিসটাই বলছিল। তো সেটার পাশাপাশি আরেকটা জিনিস এই যে মানুষ এখন সাহায্য করছে, খুব সুন্দর একটা ব্যাপার, যেখানে দেখা যায় একজন গৃহ পরিচারিকাকে রাখার সময় যে সবাই ডিসকাস করছে, আচ্ছা তোমার বেতন কত, এটা নিয়ে দরদাম হয়, অনেক কিছু হয়। তা আজকে দেখা যাচ্ছে কাজ না করেও তাকে টাকা দেওয়ার মতো করে মানুষের এই মনোভাবটা জেগেছে। তো এটা আমার কাছে মনে হয় একটা পজিটিভ জায়গা। এবং আমরা হয়তো যে সবাই বলি যে আমরা আবারও আগের জায়গায় ফিরে যাব। তা আমার মনে হয় যে এটা একটা সময় চিন্তা করার যে আগের জায়গায় আর ফিরবো না। মানে এখন যে শিক্ষাটা নিয়েছি সেখান থেকে নতুন একটা জায়গায় পৌঁছতে হবে যদি আমাদেরকে টিকে থাকতে হয়। কারণ
আচ্ছা, তিনটা বিষয়। একটি হলো যে আমার সম্পত্তি আমার প্রাইভেট প্রপার্টি, এই ধারণা থেকে মানুষ সরে এসেছে কি না, এই ধারণা থেকে সবাই সরে আসেনি। যদি সবাই সরে আসতো তাহলে 5 টাকার সার্জিক্যাল ডিসপোজেবল মাস্ক 20 টাকা দামে বিক্রি হতো না, 5 টাকার
টাকার ওষুধ, তারপরে যে জিনিসগুলো হচ্ছে, ডেফিনেটলি ওটা তো বললামই যে। কিন্তু কিছু মানুষের মধ্যে যে বিবেকটা জাগ্রত হয়েছে, কিছু মানুষের মধ্যে পজিটিভিটি এখানে
জাগ্রত হয়েছে বলছি না, সে বিবেক তাদের মধ্যে ছিলই, তারা পরিস্থিতি অনুযায়ী সে বিবেক কাজে লাগাচ্ছে।
ছিল এখন ওই সেন্সেই বলছি যে এটা ছিল এক কোণায়, প্রায়োরিটি পায়নি।
তখনও ছিল। মানুষ একদম একটি দেশের, একটা পৃথিবীর সব মানুষ প্রকৃতি বিমুখ, সব মানুষ তার মানবিক গুণাবলী বিমুখ হয়ে গিয়েছিল, এ কথা তো আমরা বলতে পারি না।
এটা না, কিন্তু যদি মেজরিটির ব্যাপার চিন্তা করি, এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে যে মাইনরিটির একটা সংখ্যা যারা এই ব্যাপারে অনেক বেশি সোচ্চার ছিলেন, কিন্তু এখন যেটা হচ্ছে যে তাদের সংখ্যা বৃদ্ধি পাচ্ছে। এটা আমি যেটা বলতে চাচ্ছি, এই মানুষগুলো যে হঠাৎ করে উঠে এসছেন তা না, তাদের মধ্যে ছিল যে কথাটা, কিন্তু অবস্থার পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে তাদেরকেও তাদের পক্ষে সম্ভব ছিল না যে কন্ট্রিবিউট করা।
হ্যাঁ, এই মানুষগুলোকে আমরা হাইলাইট করছি, এই গুণাবলীর কথাগুলো আমরা আলোচনা করছি, কারণ আমাদের এখন অনেক ব্যস্ততা কমে গেছে। আচ্ছা, পরিবেশের ব্যাপারে, যে পরিবেশ প্রসঙ্গে, পরিবেশ শুধু
সাদি, আমি আবারও ফিরে আসছি, একটু যদি আমাদের সাথে থাকো তাহলে আমি আবারও ফিরে আসছি। আমি আমাদের আবারও গেস্টের কাছে একটু ফিরে যাই কুইকলি, আমি চলে আসছি আবারও।
ওকে,
হ্যালো, এখন আমরা আমিন ভাই, welcome back, and also Anirban. We have all four of us. Well, we have come towards the end of the show, kind of. It's really hard when we have such diversity. We have Anwar Sadi with all the analysis, an amazing conversation I could have carried on its own. অনির্বাণের সাথে একটা শো হয়তো on its own, আমিন ভাইয়ের সাথে একটা শো on its own. কিন্তু আমরা যেহেতু চাচ্ছিলাম যে দর্শকরা যাতে সেই জিনিসটা এনজয় করে, যে আর আমার মেইন আইডিয়াটা ইন হারমোনি উইথ এরশাদ, we always try to bring people together from all around the world. So this is the main initiative. That's what we are trying to do. So on that note, I'd like to go to Anirban and have a performance from him. Then I'll go to Amin Bhai and also his concluding note in terms of, if you'd like to add. We had a very good discussion in terms of the problems we are facing. Okay, I'd like to probably add Anirban on this conversation. I said that I would like to add Anirban because he's a Bengali as well. The problems we face, and now we have Anwar Sadi who can have some input on this one. So Amin Bhai had said that sometimes we have this tendency, if someone is talented, if someone has a skill, we become very insecure. We try to pull them down. Okay, if I can't go forward, you can't go forward as well. So let's drag you down as well. Have you faced it, Anirban?
Yeah, we all face it every day, and it happens especially with people in the similar profession. The one who plays tabla wouldn't look with as much respect to the other tabla players, maybe the singers. Yeah, it happens with everyone. But I would like to say that our music is a very individualistic kind of art form. So there's no harm in feeling that I'm the best.
Exactly.
I don't think that there's any harm. But the COVID crisis has taught us that even if we want to do something, then how important is my other counterpart? Exactly. So how important is my tabla? How important is my mixing? How important is my piano or any other instrument that I use? So it has taught us. So it is not possible by me to do everything. So we had to collaborate. And
this is why I always say, sometimes the better idea would be not to compete with each other or someone else. always try to compete. I always say, because I faced it myself, I tell people that please don't feel insecure of me. I compete with myself. The version of myself was yesterday. I try to better myself a little bit today from yesterday.
Absolutely.
That's what we try to do.
Absolutely. And then there can be no end to the competition because you are only your own competitor. So that's one thing. And I would say the positive side of this that we realized, and I would like to end this whole session on this really hopeful note that in the last 3 months that we have been staying inside home, I have produced more than 8 tracks.
Wow.
And some of them featured 2, 3 musicians, including me, and one of them featured about 20 musicians, 20 singers, and all from different parts of the globe. And I can tell you frankly that I could have never thought of this kind of a project sitting at home if this crisis hadn't come. So
yeah, we are trying to get ourselves technology savvy as well, how we can make it possible, collaboration, live collaboration. So things are happening, and this is the new norm, and there will be definitely changes, as we are saying. We always talk about going back to where we used to. I think we will never get back to where we used to. It'll be a new order.
So yeah, we are also very lucky in that sense that we are witnessing some historical transition of the world.
Exactly.
And we are going. The schools are being digital in India, in a place like India, where even in a lot of in a lot of schools they never used to have any internet connection. Now they're online. They're teaching online because they know.
Sorry to interrupt again. I mean, I have to, because being a moderator, I'm in a very hard place. I have to choose between the music and the lovely conversation, and sometimes the music wins because we have people still watching, and they sometimes definitely this is a very valuable. We are trying to squeeze everything in one. So, what's your last performance? What
so
you like to
I
sing
would
for?
briefly I would do ghazal again. But this one is not my composition. It's a timeless ghazal. The ones sung by Farida Khanum, Jani Ki Zid Na Karo. It's also like to bid adieu to the whole show and the fantastic experience that we all had today. So
what a lovely thought.
Yeah.
Jani Ki Zid Na Karo. Wow.
Nice.
Thank you.
हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें किया ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें किया ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो तुम ये सोचो जरा क्यों न रोके तुम्हें जान जाती है जब उठ के जाते हो तुम जान जाती है जब उठ के जाते हो तुमको अपनी कसम जाने जा बात इतनी मेरी मान लो आज जाने की जिद ना करो हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें किया ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो आज जाने किसे ना करो.
I think that's what the viewers are saying now, listening to you, that we want to end the show and they're like, please, Jani ki zid na karo. So, Anirban, it was always lovely having you or talking to you, and it will keep going in the background. We will always be in
Yeah,
touch.
of
But
course, of course. Yeah,
your input in the show, not only in terms of music, your conversation, it shows, it shines that a person with his own personality. So, it's a privilege to have you on the show. Thanks a lot.
I'm so grateful to ARTV for hosting me, and yeah, and this was also an opportunity to talk to you and listen to your music and share my music with you and the larger community through the internet. After such a long time, I think we did the show almost together almost after 8 years,
Yeah.
8 9 years. So it's been a long time, and so I'm also feeling very nostalgic and also grateful, thankful to the channel for
Let's say
hosting
it's a
me.
new beginning. So it's a new beginning for
Yeah,
us. So it'll be beginning of a new era. We'll try to do more things together.
absolutely.
So everyone
Yeah,
stay safe and we'll be in touch and probably we'll have you again. Just you and Air TV and In Harmony with Ershad. We'll just listen to you so our audience can request more songs from you and you can show more of your versatility and share with the rest of the audiences and rest of the world.
absolutely. I would be so happy to do that. Thank you, Shraddha. Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care, Anirban. So we had Anirban with us and we have taken leave from Anirban and we'd like to move on to the next part and towards the end, as I was saying. So I'd get back to Anwar Sadi at the moment, and we'd like to get his concluding remarks into the show. Unfortunately, Anwar Sadi has joined us towards the end of the show today almost, but still, we managed to squeeze in some conversations, some of his analysis. But there are a lot of other things I'd like to discuss with you, but we don't have the time today. We could have started talking about the mental health issues, which is very important. We were talking about the finances and the economical downturn and the effects what people are facing, but we have to discuss about in terms of what the mental issues where people are facing, not only about the grown-ups, even the children. So I understand on the next show we'll be discussing about that, and by then we'll have a lot of other topics to discuss as well. So Anwar Sadi, if you'd like to add something to it, what we're discussing towards the end, because there is a tendency in the community that we try to pull each other down. As I was saying, that when someone is making some progress, sometimes we don't even acknowledge. Even among your friends, you see that they won't say that you're something good, you're doing something good. They won't say, I mean, even on social media, if you share it, not that a like won't change me. If I'm going forward, I'll go forward. Even people like it, love it or not, or just leave it blank or no one watches it. But the thing is, you see, it really hurts that when you see your relatives, your friends, when they're looking at it, I'm talking about every one of us, and they're intentionally ignoring it and showing that, okay, we haven't seen it and we are ignoring you. So what do you feel about this one? I mean, you might have seen this one among your friends as well.
Actually, mature people, a mature human is a collection of a lot of experience which he gathered it from his family, from his teacher, school, university, etc., etc. So one man cannot be the copy of others, and
Exactly.
so the mental structure and the thinking pathway is different. So if you decided to welcome the different opinion from the different people, then the earth is full of flowers, etc., etc. And if you think that you are not ready to accept the opposite opinion, then the society and your personal life or your world will not be the bed of rose. So this is the
Definitely.
basic, that you have to admit another human's existence and you have to honor them.
Oh.
This is the solution, I think.
Definitely. I mean, so long because if another solution is that, say, if we feel that we are insecure of someone because they have this particular skill and I'm not up to that level, so please bring yourself up to that level rather than trying to pull them down and trying to cause harm to them or put obstacles in their way so they can't go forward. It doesn't really work. If someone is destined to go somewhere, if someone has the talent, they will go. So on that note, Anwar Sadi, I would like to take leave of you as well. We are towards the end of the show, and you added such a lovely comment towards the end of the show, and also your analysis we always value. So Anwar Sadi, thanks a lot. And definitely we'll have you from the beginning of the show next week, and you can give us more time. I understand you have a very responsible position in News 24, and you have a long day tomorrow as well, so far as I know. So have a good night's sleep and stay safe, and regards to your family.
Okay, thank you very much. But remember one thing, that is, human life is like a river. You cannot stop it. It will always flow. It will always go and goes on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anwar. Take care. So
bye.
We have one last guest, and last but not the least, I kept him intentionally because I know that when I start talking to him, we'll need that time and we'll have a very interesting conclusion towards the end of the show. So Amin Raja, I would like to have him now. Yeah, Amin bhai. So it's just the two of us.
Oh, yeah. I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're towards the end as well. And we had some very lovely input in terms of they have their own viewpoints, the observation that how human can progress. What Anwar was saying, that it's like a flowing river. It will flow no matter what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. But unless they're going to put a what do you call
dam.
it?
A dam.
Yeah, exactly. Which is our communities are very good at doing.
But you know, the water will rise again and then it will overflow. But it will take time, but will overflow again. So that's how it happens.
So what's going to happen? It's going to happen. You can't stop it. You can delay it, but you cannot stop it.
Exactly.
That's what happens. And the other thing is, most of the people, why they do these things is because most of the people, for example, let's talk about the cultural people who are in the media. They think, oh, okay, let's talk about dancers and singers and actors. So they don't talk. The reason they think that if I talk, then I'm going to lose. That means they're not going to hire me. I'm going to lose money or whatever, or something like that. And because of that, they don't realize by today doing this, tomorrow they're creating a big hole for themselves where they're going to fall in. And
that's a big thing that you opened up. We don't have the time to discuss, but probably we will. And you have done a show on this one as well. Look at the Indian film industry. What I have been watching a lot of interesting videos in social media where they're discussing how even the actors, their works are being taken from them because they're not part of this production house. Even the singers are suffering. And I've seen a very lovely personal video from Sonu Nigam as well. So these are the things. Unfortunately, what's going to happen if you try to stop the talents, then you're not... we need the existence of another human, another species of the same species if we have to go forward. Because what's going to happen? Say, I stop you, but at some point I have my limited time on Earth and I'm going to die. And what's going to happen? In the meantime, there's no legacy and I didn't let anybody grow.
Absolutely. This is what I've been saying for the last 20 years in this community. For God's sake, guys, leave a footmark for you so that don't forget about making millions of them. Forget about making thousands. Forget about making hundreds.
Yeah.
Just make at least one like you so that continues.
And I think we don't need to say anything more after that. How you said that, how you concluded that, that's lovely. So would you like to add a happy song towards the end?
There was a request. I was going to sing Ajay Dintake Moner Khatai because I had what do you call it? I had a track on it. Do you want me to do this? Amar Guru Dokkhina. Which one shall I do?
Ajay Dintake probably, because it's a lovely day and having you on the show and all those lovely people I had. So I'd like to write it down. It should be etched in my memory.
All right. Then in that case, I will do Ajay Dintake.
Definitely. All right? Please take away.
There we go. Let me just take it there. And it starts here.
করবে মনে কাছে দূরে যেখানেই থাকো আজ এই দিনটাকে মনের খাতায় লিখে রাখো আমায় পড়বে মনে কাছে দূরে যেখানেই থাকো ও হো হো আমার গল্প আর পাখিদের গান শুনে শুনে আজ এই ফাল্গুনে দুটি চোখে স্বপ্ন শুধু আঁকো আমার গল্প আর পাখিদের গান শুনে শুনে আজ এই ফাল্গুনে দুটি চোখে স্বপ্ন শুধু আঁকো আজ এই দিনটাকে মনের খাতায় লিখে রাখো আমায় পড়বে মনে কাছে দূরে যেখানেই থাকো ও হো হো হা 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 আজ সারাদিন বসে নয় থাকি পাশাপাশি আজ শুধু ভালোবাসাবাসি শুধু গান আর হাসাহাসি রঙের বর্ষায় নেমেছে যে দেখো ফুলে ফুলে দুটি হাত তুলে আমাকে আরো কাছে ডাকো রঙের বর্ষায় নেমেছে যে দেখো ফুলে ফুলে দুটি হাত তুলে আমাকে আরো কাছে ডাকো আজ এই দিনটাকে মনের খাতায় লিখে রাখো আমায় পড়বে মনে কাছে দূরে যেখানেই থাকো ও হো হো হা হা হা
Thank you, Amin Bhai.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was amazing. And many of the people who are watching on Facebook, probably they couldn't, but tonight they will enjoy the show. We'll have many more viewers added to that. So on that note, I'd like to take leave of you and have a great evening. And thanks for joining with us. And I hope we have set a trend with that one. Hopefully people would be inspired.
Yeah, TV and Relax Radio together. Alhamdulillah. That's
Yeah.
This is good. At
Definitely.
least so many others should come and join us.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. And inshallah, see you soon. Allah
Definitely,
Hafiz.
Amin Bhai. Have a good evening and stay safe. So that's the end of the show. And we have come towards the end of the show. As you know, it's In Harmony with Ershad. We come normally every Sunday at 6 p.m. But going forward, I'd like to make an announcement here. Going forward, we'd like to have our show on every Saturday between 6 and 8. But unfortunately, we always drag it on because we want to be with you. So viewers, whoever with us tonight on Air TV Network, it was In Harmony with Ershad. And as you know, what we are trying to do and what I'm trying to do with this show is try to bring people from all around the world together, and be it artists, different personalities from all walks of life and who have achieved something and who are trying to do something for the community or for the community in general or for the rest of the world or for any nation. So that's the view of the show and that's the mission that I have for In Harmony with Ershad. And we are trying to bring everyone in harmony. So whoever is watching this show regularly, thanks for your support, thanks for your calls, and thanks for your inputs and all the suggestions, all the opinions that you have for us. And it's not only about music. And definitely that's an entertainment that you'd like to know and this you'd like to see. But In Harmony with Ershad, what I'm trying to do every Saturday, every Sunday, because I'm calling it every Saturday. I'm saying every Saturday because that's what's going to happen. So people who are with us, I'd love to thank you all and thanks for your support. And I hope to see you every weekend, be it Saturday or Sunday, it doesn't matter. You'll be with us and we'll be in harmony and in harmony with the rest of the world and people, whoever is watching from any part of the world. Thanks a lot to you. And let's make a point. Let's make a resolution that from this point onwards, we'll all be in harmony, no matter what, wherever we are. Stay safe and good night from me. Take care.